Welcome to Trans Talks. This is Susan Marco, and I hope you find this conversation as engaging as I did. Have a great day and enjoy. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Trans Talks, where I have conversations with people across multiple modalities and offerings. And today, I have to tell you, I feel so blessed, really, to have you, Michele, as our guest today. A little history briefly. After I experienced my cancer journey, I really wanted to give back. And I wanted to, find a way that I could participate in something. And I was so lucky and grateful to find Mary's Place at the time. And I've been volunteering with them ever since really the end of 2019. And I have no intention of ever not being a part of what they do there. So um, I really want to introduce Michele Gannon, who is the executive director and the founder of Mary's Place, which, by the way, I have to tell you, is one of the most beautiful, like the energy of Mary's Place when you walk in the door is just, it's one of love and hope and compassion and gratitude and like all of those things, all of those higher frequencies that we all strive to create for ourselves. And Michele, you've done an amazing job of bringing in the the staff and the people. Like everyone there is so clearly of that mission and goal. And so I could go on, but I'm gonna give you the microphone and just ask you to please share, whatever you want to share. Who are you? How did this come about? And what
Sure.
do you do at Mary's Place?
Thank you, Susan. I could have you go on and on because just listening to you has already lowered my heart rate. And I think I'm almost in like a meditative state, just sitting in this space with you. So I'm truly grateful for this opportunity to just have a nice conversation with you and share with your community what Mary's Place is and how it came about. Hopefully, with that story, it gives an understanding of what we do and what we hope to accomplish for every guest who arrives in our space. So, back in January of 2009, I was homesick and I was only struggling with the flu with three small children piled around me, ages 2, 4, and 6, and they kept poking me. Are you better now? Now, now? And I realized that our scheduled life stays the same. All the schedule just continues on day in and day out, night and day. And now you insert an illness. For me, it was a short term illness that went away within 2 weeks. But for women who are struggling with cancer, it's not going to go away in 2 to 4 weeks. And I remember just asking my husband and commenting to him and saying, I wonder what a woman does when she has a long term illness like cancer. Who is giving her permission to just step away for a moment of her scheduled life and to kind of change her perspective, gain some insight, catch her breath, stop the chaos of her life? And the idea just would not leave me. By the end of that very same month, I had a dream one night, and Mary came to me in the dream, Mary being Jesus' mother. And she came to me as a woman who was very empathetic, strong, and she really led me down the street, right down Ocean Grove towards the ocean, and put into my heart this concept of giving women a place to go. I do like to share with everyone we are non-denominational or no faith at all. However, we like to meet every woman where they are. So that happened 17 years ago, and it has been an incredible journey of growth, of self growth, of having to face the hard facts about our where we think we are and what we think will help, become a humble listener, and start to build out a place that exists now for the past 17 years where women can retreat to for 2 nights and 3 days, or even just for the day if they need to, and receive these services, these holistic services, one of which you provide for them, as opportunities to just slow down, catch their breath, put a net on their all of their thoughts that are popcorning through their head, and just feel their heartbeat, hear their breath, and start to kind of be reacquainted with themselves. And then assess what are their thoughts. And then with our team and all of their supportive services, they're led through this retreat that helps them gain some new perspective, some self care tips, and some hope. And one of the most beautiful aspects of the retreat in this home, which is located in Ocean Grove, New Jersey, and it was custom built for our guests. It's a 10-bedroom home. It looks like a bed and breakfast, but for our specific community, and a beautiful spa, an elegant sanctuary, a big kitchen, just some wide open space
It's
that's.
gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. It's wide open space that's non-clinical, non-institutional, and I think that's so important because that allows our body to aesthetically just realize, like, let me release. I'm in a vacation space, and I'm going to take myself through this program, this retreat, and try to make a change, kind of see where I am, assess myself, and through all of the services and the connection of the women, with it's 8 women per retreat, this this transformation happens. It's remarkable how fast it is. It's literally 2 nights and 3 days, and to watch our guests arrive, not really knowing what to expect. We're not a household name. Am I going to get along with the other women? Is this going to be someplace that I'm going to have to talk about my cancer and I'm going to cry the entire time? Or, what do I expect? I've never had a massage. I'm going to have to be in this room. I don't know what Reiki is. Hypnotherapy. I don't know if I can control my brain and shut it down just to be able to meditate. Through all of that, it just starts to take shape. And by the third day, our guests leave feeling this. I'm so emotional about it. It's a transformation, and we feel it. Our team feels it. Our practitioners feel it, and we watch our guests blossom. Shoulders back, head is held high, and they feel like they have this community now where they can show up completely authentic, which is not something that exists a lot in our world. And they don't have to pretend for anyone. This is their safe space. This is their secure chat group that they can tell, I'm having a scan today and I'm having so much anxiety, and they have a group of women who gets it. Or I'm just having a really crappy day. Can we FaceTime? And hey, I'm in this area. I'm in your area. Can we grab lunch? Mm-hmm. And to watch these connections that are year after year after year, I know that it's making an impact. And I feel so blessed to have answered the call and to be a part of it myself.
Yeah, there's a few things that you said, that so that when you walk in the door and you feel that warmth, and right, and it's not institutional, and it feels like you're walking into a guest home, right, and really welcomed. In my language, what that does is it really helps our nervous system to just relax and let go. And when you're in the midst of such an incredible upset and journey, the whole everything that cancer brings us, that is such a gift, to give that opportunity for people's nervous systems to just unfold and unwind for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And also, yeah, I want to second what you said. In, for me, it's like a microcosm. When I do the guided imagery with the ladies, every other week we get together, and there are some that come all the time, and there's some that just drop in, but we have time for sharing. And it's so beautiful to watch when someone shares a concern that they have about something coming up, and the space that the other women will hold for that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and it's that to me is like the heart of it.
yeah, yeah. And you bring up a good point. So in our home, it's so intimate with just 8 women per retreat. But then in 2020, when COVID happened, we found we were desperately wanting to keep the community together. We desperately wanting to support our guests who were living in this isolation and this fear, just like the whole world was. But now they're also, not attending doctor's appointments because they're being canceled, or it just became so disruptive and to everyone's lives, but particularly those who were facing an illness that prior to March 13th in 2020, they were told you need chemo every 2 weeks, you need radiation on a daily basis. Now all of a sudden, well, let's push it 3 to 4 weeks. Let's well, we know you need some counsel. We know you need counseling, and you're really in that very vulnerable state, but we're going to need to push that off for a bit. And so we stepped out of our own comfort zone here in Mary's place and took a day to assess and then do what you had to do, and created a virtual program. And that's where you are a practitioner. We have 45 sessions a month. We have over 500 women a month that can continue all of this self-care on a regular basis. Would be Reiki and hypnotherapy and the guided meditation and yoga and tapping, and we have lecture series, and it's all in this safe space. So it's continued care. And that program has been so incredible to keep our program thriving outside of the home that I can't thank you enough as a practitioner to show up regularly, because our guests are depending on it, and they're depending on someone who's consistent and they can count on. And I think that is part of, I'm just one person, but this entire Mary's Place community is why it works and how it works.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure. I mean, especially for that consistency and being, some of the ladies that come to, and I'm sure this is for not just me, some of the ladies who come, they've been coming for a couple of years. They keep coming. And
Yes.
it is like a little bit of a virtual family,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? Uh,
Yeah.
oh, I had another question that popped in my mind, and it just like went.
During that, you bring up a good point, is the connection and the familiarity, that we have guests who show up regularly to virtual sessions. And if they are on a session and they usually have a friend who's attending, they've gotten to know her, and she doesn't show up, they call us and they email us and they say, I didn't see so and so. Can you please check in with her? I want to make sure she's okay. And I just love that they have someone always wanting to know. And when we do that for the ladies, we're calling and saying, you're typically on this session, and so and so reached out because she was really concerned that you weren't on the session. Just want to make sure you're okay. Like, just weeping, like, wow, I matter. Somebody noticed that I wasn't there. And it's so beautiful. It's really great.
I have the chills right now. So one question I think people might be wondering is, if like, do you have to have been physically at Mary's Place to do the virtual sessions, or?
No, as a matter of fact, it's really it's our net right now that's catching all the ladies who are on the waiting list to get into our in-house program. the virtual program, you can jump on it as soon as you connect with our community and you fill out the reservation inquiry. So we get to know you, and then you're sent a link and invited to the program, and then you can pick any one of the classes or all of them that you want to register for. And that's the one thing that we say to our guests who are feeling so desperate. I need something, but I can't get to your place for the next 3 months. We say join the virtual program because it's a great entryway into our community.
And I know, Michelle, for people who don't know, there's no charge for any
Yeah,
of this.
I always forget to say that. It's such a given to me. And I was like, for 17 years, I always have to be reminded because, yeah, that's like the big thing. There's absolutely no charge.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah. It's crazy. I forget that.
It's
Yeah,
unbelievable. And then it isn't, because
yeah,
the, when you create something and it's pure of purpose, and also that, the impetus, or the initial thing about it was so very spiritual. And I mean, from spirit, right? It wasn't like,
yeah,
it was an unearthly thing that
right. Yeah,
inspired that, whether it was Mary or Moses or whoever, it doesn't really matter. It
yeah,
matters, but like, it's,
yeah,
that being the driving force, that pure of purpose. It's like God helps those who help themselves.
right, right. And that's, I think, too, is knowing that there's something bigger than us, and whatever that is, wherever someone is with that, it's my it's my driving force. It's kept me really wanting to hone my skills, to be better, to work on this every day, to step out of my comfort zone every single day. Because it's not about me and it's not about my ego or my fears. It's about what our guests need to kind of pull them through. And that's how I look at it. Is it's so much bigger than what's humanly walking on this earth.
Yes. And honestly, I think that covers it in such an amazing,
Yeah.
descriptive way. Is there anything else that you
Yeah.
want to
I
share?
want to say, this is just a testament to that there's absolutely no coincidences ever.
Mm.
And I have such a great example of it on a daily basis. But last week we had a guest who arrived, and she had a very, very rare cancer, couldn't find a support group, felt very isolated and alone. And we're sitting around the table. We have a meet and greet when our guests arrive, the first hour that they're here, so they can kind of icebreaker, get to know one another. And this was like the one thing that kind of anchored this woman into her cancer and just kept her like isolated, was that I have this type of cancer and only 4% of the world has this cancer.
Mhm.
And sitting across from her, this woman reaches her hand across and she said, I have that cancer too. And there is no denying. We don't, we don't look at the questionnaires of, we don't pair anyone up from cancer types or stages. It's, and to, we just, it's order received and are you available this date, and you're in. And then we just leave it to the universe, and it always happens. A guest saying, I'm so exhausted because I'm a caregiver to my ailing husband, and the woman beside her in tears, me too.
Yeah,
It just keeps going like that, and I am just incredibly humbled to watch it all happen, and it's a blessing.
that's divine intervention, if you've
Yeah,
heard of it, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to, I just have to say again, like, that's the word that always comes to mind for me about Mary's Place, is divine.
yeah,
On every level, the divine is present,
yeah,
and the your energy and your, like, I mean, we've been together, in the same room at events and things like that. And the consistency, Michelle, and also 17 years is a long time
Yeah.
to hold it all together.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we're all grateful
Thank
to
you.
you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we're stepping out in a big way and working on another home. And there's a lot. Oh man, there's a lot. But I know that our community needs it. The Mary's Place community needs it. And the communities in which we are moving into need it. They need to know that a group needs them, and it awakens a community to volunteer, to support financially, to start to pay attention to the people around them and their neighbors, and invite them, and share with, my neighbor has been struggling with cancer, maybe she could come to your place. So for all of your listeners, if you could just keep us in your thoughts and your prayers, if that's where you are, for growth, because we know that it's a mission that has a butterfly ripple effect throughout each community, and we're so excited for the future.
So I have two questions about that.
Yeah.
If someone wants to donate or help out on that level, how would they do that?
So right on our website, which is marysplacebythesea.org, all spelled out, right on our page there, there's a donate button. And we'd love for you to join our community newsletter so we can keep you monthly abreast of what's going on. And we love to interact with everyone, and that's the best place to find us. And you can always call us. You'll find our phone number right there. And we have a small team, but we all answer the phone, and we always feel like it's just a moment to be able to connect with people. So when we reach out and we call every guest, I think I have a visual, like they must look at their phone like it's like this foreign thing that they don't want to pick up. But then when they hear that it's us, they always want to talk to us. So we're trying to keep it that where we can authentically touch and have conversation and get to know our guests. So if anyone listening here knows someone who might need our services, please have them reach out to us, because it's time that we meet.
Yeah. Michelle, thank you so, so much for taking the time to come and chat with
Absolutely.
me. And by the way, we'll put all of that in the show notes. We'll put
Yeah, perfect.
uh,
I've enjoyed this time. Thank you, Susan.
oh, you're so welcome. And thank you all for taking the time to listen. And, whatever you feel inspired to do in the direction of Mary's Place, it's do it. So, that being said, thank you. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Take care, everybody. Mwah.